So right now it is silt fence time, and I've got one sock actually here and a whole bunch of silt fence. And I've, per my erosion control plan, I need to silt fence along this driveway as I go up. So I've got hundreds and hundreds of feet of it. It's very hot out today compared to what it's been lately. It's almost 90 degrees and it's really humid out. I got all the silt fence. So the way I do this, some people just have a machine that puts this in, especially if you're a contractor. I just have a trencher, and I trench about 6 inches deep with a channel here, and it gives me enough to really you have to get to these red lines, fill it to the red line to be in compliance, and then you just pound these stakes. It's just a lot of pounding, and it's not very fun work. I'm trying to just start them with this hammer this time. I did a whole bunch of fence the other driveway with just this hammer, and I found that it really wears you out after a while because it's not quite big enough. So I'm going to try a different thing here. I'm just going to start them all with this and then switch over to a bigger sledgehammer here. Hopefully this works. Backfill it with my feet and hands. It's a lot of work. It's not easy on a hot day, so I'll probably switch back over to the dozer here. You can see why they make machines for this stuff. It's very tedious. Whew. So that's 100 feet down and about 1,000 to go. So let's come out here and take a look at what we did. So up here is where our new driveway is starting. So we're waiting to do our cut here because we have to do a big switchback on our plan. So we're gonna start grubbing trees out and getting things set up. We're approved for our driveway. We just got to get our erosion control stuff for that cut approved. But let's go back here and look at the road. So yeah, here it is. Not bad for an amateur. And again, these ditches will we're gonna clean up with the excavator as we come through here. And I also have a 6-way blade for my skid steer that I'm gonna work on the edges. This dozer is just really huge to do the stuff on the sides, especially when you have all these trees. And we're trying to save these trees and, you know, make everything look nice and like we still have forest. But yeah, I'm just walking down here, and this is kind of clumpy right now because it did rain yesterday, so this isn't the driest stuff, so it's not spreading quite as nice as I would like, but it's good enough, because again, we're just trying to get this smooth for our road bed, and then we'll be putting our geomat on it. So I won't go all the way down the driveway, but you can kind of see it's looking really good. We get some nice big boulders popping up out of here. And this one, here's my hand for scale, but this one broke in half. So we're getting a driveway with the 12-foot road bed, and I've got 4 foot on each side for ditches. So coming down here, this is one of the narrowest spots in the driveway between this oak tree here and this boulder over here. So it's still wide enough, plenty wide for the driveway, but we're trying to save this tree if we can. We'll see. It's gonna be awfully close to it, and I hope it survives. I think it will. We haven't damaged it, and I don't think too much dirt got piled around it. So yeah, and then down here, it goes all the way down the hill. So we've got a nice roughed in driveway here, and there's a little bit of slope down here that I'm going to need to fix when I come back down. It's lower on the outside than it is on the inside. It's kind of like a swoop this way right here, but that's okay, and I can get this cut down. I'll just do a back and forth cuts here. And as I walk down here, I'll get back to where I was putting in silt fence. So my plan calls for a lot of silt fence down at the bottom, but hopefully we can get our electric here knifed in, and then get our geomat on top of this and our breaker rock in, and we'll be ready to go with getting things up and down this hill. So this is looking down. It's sort of the start of our switchback. Let's just walk up here, see how this is looking. Kind of a steep drop on this side. So when digging this switchback up here, we ran into some pretty hard rock. So we've got the ripper on the 323 and we're having some issues even with the ripper getting through some of this rock. I think it's like dolostone, some sort of dolomite limestone mix. It's pretty hard stuff. So just got to get this down a little bit on this outside corner here, and then I can grade this in to the legal grade. Come up here. There's a shelf that he's working in right now, but it goes to about right there. And we can get that out. We can make our approach a little wider here, give us a little bit more of a radius to get around this corner and go down. We're very close. I'm able to get 14% in pretty much most spots on this downhill side. I do have to go a little bit of a swoop at the very end to get, it's like about an 18%. That's okay if you only do it for like 50 feet or so. Our town takes averages here. We're pulling out some large stones. This is my hand camera for scale there. See how big these guys are. Got a pile of them out there in the middle. So it looks like he's making progress on the shelf. We weren't able to do that the other day. So I think he's got an angle in. This ripper is nice. You see the bucket up there? And the home site is in that little clearing above the bucket there, over the hill. So let me walk up around and get a better vantage point. So the old farm road actually came up through here, kind of where we were clearing out that quarry. If I walk around here, get a better view of the action. You can see kind of the amount of cut we've had to do, starting over here, working our way down through to get down to that 13% grade. Nice thing is, all of this area to the switchback is right at about 9%. Let's go down here and see how this is working. We're going to be happy to be done with this little shelf here because it is beating up the excavator a bit. That ripper's made it possible. So here's another view. Give you some sense of scale here. That's a very large excavator. Hop on down here. So I've been using this generator here. It's a Champion 3500 watt generator and a jackhammer that I think I just got off of Amazon. It's some sort of knockoff import one. and I've just been using it to break up these little shelves. I have these shelves kind of on the outside of the driveway here, so I'm breaking them up and softening them, one, so there's no humps when we bring the driveway around here, but two, just to also make sure that water doesn't pool up in some of these areas. So right here in this area, the water has been pooling because there was a shelf right here, and I made a channel through with a jackhammer here, so now this, and then when this fills in with gravel, it'll naturally won't pool on the road here. The other thing I was able to do is I took off a couple feet off of this rock wall here that stuck out, so now it's a lot more smooth when you come down along the rock face here. And then I'll clean all this stuff up here and just have the wall showing. Up here, all of the erosion mat is now growing lots and lots of grass, so that's good. And same over as we go up the driveway. So we still haven't done the rock on this part yet, but we're gonna do it tomorrow. And I got my grass growing on that, the downhill side, and I've got the erosion mat and the grass growing up through that side as well. So yeah, we're gonna be up to the home site and this week. So today's kind of a bittersweet day. I have to return the bulldozer today, and so I've had it for just over a month. It's been awesome. I've been able to make about 4,000 feet of driveway with it. So without it, I definitely couldn't have done this project. So if you have a big driveway to make, I would highly recommend renting one of these guys. Now I will be happy to have this thing gone though, because it's just such a big expensive piece of equipment that I don't really want to mess up. So but yeah, no issues with it. It was great the whole time, and I learned a lot through the process, and have the driveway ready now for the rock to go in. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So here is the start of the new driveway. Putting down this geomat. It's 12.5 feet wide, and I just started a little out of breath. It's pretty hot out here, pushing this giant roll up a hill. I have one of these cool staplers to put the staples in, and the trucks will be coming shortly with the rock. So I'm just kind of getting this thing started, get it rolled out, and we'll be ready to go here. And then only got about 3,500 feet of total driveway we got to do with this stuff. So it's going to take us about a week probably. So it begins. So this mat, it's pretty easy to roll out once you're on a flat area here. I just usually kick it. And then you can roll for a while and then put down a bunch of staples. Do on the outside and through the middle. So we've got some nice breeze now. So yeah, we're making our way up around the barn, and each one of these rolls is like 430 feet. So I'm hoping we can do 2 rolls today. Get close to 900. We'll see. We've got to go up to about 1,000, but that's an estimate.